Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Quotable with Morgan and Dutch. I'm your host, Morgan.
And I am not Morgan.
And what? Well, now that we have that established, we're going to do a movie that a lot of you may not have heard of. And to be honest with you, I just recently found out about this hidden gem of a flick recently, thanks to Dutch. And we watched it last weekend, and I got to say, it was worth it.
Yeah, an immediate fan.
Yep, so let's get into it.
The 1984 classic, maybe 86, who knows?
You never know.
Rustler's Rhapsody.
So you're going to have to take lead on this one, as previously discussed.
Well, sir.
And I'm just going to input things like, that's right. Oh, yeah, he sure did say that.
You know it.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, I love this movie. I've watched this movie ever since I was a little kid. This movie is fantastic because this was filmed way before the, like people getting in their feelings. And that's what makes this movie so great, is because of everything that's done and said about this. And I'm pretty sure that I'm probably going to get little clips from this movie now that I'm talking about it, because the one clip that me and my dad always get is the scene with Blackie at the very beginning when he walks into the bar, and easily probably one of the best scenes of the entire movie.
Now, for the record, Blackie is a white gentleman.
Yep.
And he's not very friendly.
No, he is not. He just shoots people because I guess these people just need to be shot. I don't know.
Any opportunity that he has to kill somebody, whether it just be they rub him the wrong way or they say something that he doesn't agree with, that's his resolution.
Yeah. Now, as a little insight to you people, to everyone listening, is that this is kind of like a Western. It's a Western.
Had this talk, man. And now you're going to throw out you people?
Yep.
Come on, man.
But it is like a spaghetti Western spoof kind of movie.
And you could almost imagine Mel Brooks directing this one. But it's not as taboo, I guess, as Blazing Saddles.
Right. I do like the when Blackie first comes in and that guy, or it was the sheep herders, and he was, I smell sheep. And everyone moves, and he is like, listen, Blackie, he's like, I'm not armed. And he's like, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. So he just shoots him and kills him. But then the other guy chimes in, and he was like, Blackie, he's like, you can kill me too if you want to. He's like, but this is the kind of action that drives down property value. So he shoots and kills him too. And then he's like, sorry about that, saloon owner. And then the guy's just like, oh, no, it's okay, Blackie. Since it's Tuesday, have a free drink. And then the sheriff chimes in with the sheriff too. And he's like, sorry, sheriff. And he was like, oh, yeah, no need to apologize. He was like, these guys were just driving you crazy. It's like, honestly, I don't know how you put up with it.
Yeah, that was definitely a funny moment because you can tell that people are just afraid of him.
Yes.
So they'll do whatever they can to stay on his good side, even though sometimes when they try that, it still rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah. But that whole scene when Rex O'Hurlihan, who's played by Tom Berenger, finally chimes in, and the only reason he chimes in is because he saw Mary Lou Henner's character. I can't remember. It was Miss Tracy, and he when she was like, Blackie, you're out of line, and then Blackie's little sidekick henchman just chimes in, and he was like, what do you know? You're just a prostitute. It's like someone that sells their body to any man with the wherewithal and means to pay for attention. And he's just like, all right, that's it. I've had enough of this kind of talk. But
thanks a lot, Captain Obvious.
Yeah. But then Blackie chimes in and he's like, what in the hell are you?
Yeah, because Rex O'Hurlihan has, because he comes in after Rex, right?
Yes.
Rex, who's played by Tom Berenger, he's the main character of the story, and if you recognize the last name, it might be because you watched our dodgeball podcast episode. Yes, you watched it on Spotify. And Dutch kept saying Patches O'Hurlahan because he was confusing the two.
Yes.
But no, he wears very
effeminate clothing.
Yeah, I don't want to say flamboyant.
Yeah, but effeminate.
Yeah.
Kind of
flowery, kind of real colorful. Definitely.
You look like one of those guys who's attracted to other men.
Once again, thanks a lot, Captain Obvious. That's right, Simpson. Attracted to other men. But yeah, he doesn't come across as like a very rugged cowboy.
Right.
Even though he can hold his own with the pistol.
He can. But he does give him fair warning because he was like, I just want you to know, you or your men draw on me, I'll shoot each of you in the hand. Like, in the hand? It's like, not in the chest or the face. It's like, nope, only in the hand.
Oh, I don't like the thought of being shot in the hand.
Then go home, Blackie. Go home. Yeah. And see someone about your hearing.
Oh my God.
And then,
good stuff. But I like when Rex orders his drink.
Yeah.
You know, because he goes in, he didn't have the intention of drinking any alcohol, but based on the type of town this was.
Have a sarsaparilla. And the bartender's just staring at him. It's like, is this one of those really tough bars? And the bartender nods his head and he was like, all right. And give me a glass of gin with a human hair.
Doesn't he say warm gin?
Yeah, warm glass of gin with a human hair in it. I do like the town drunk, though, when he comes up and he's played by G.W. Bailey. And he was like, hey, yeah, you new in town? I'll tell you what's going on. And then he takes Rex's drink. And every time he drinks it, he always does this weird face where he's like has to stick his tongue out a couple times, I guess just to get used to it. But he's always
like he's psyching himself up for because he knows it's going to be harsh.
Yeah. So every time he takes a drink, he's just like, and then when he orders another drink, he's like, hold the hair.
Oh, God. I hate the thought of any hair being in my mouth. I don't care whose hair it is.
Yeah. And then, there are nods to other movies, other Westerns in this movie. There's the scene where him and, the town drunk wants to become Rex's sidekick. So Rex tells him, okay, well, I'm gonna take you under my wing and show you what it's like to be a sidekick. But when they go jumping off the cliff, that's kind of a nod to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Which I still haven't watched.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're gonna learn you today.
It's gonna happen.
Not today, but
no, we don't have that kind of time.
No, we never have that kind of time.
Have you lost your bearings?
No. So there are a bunch of funny scenes in this movie, and then he does shoot everyone in the hand, and he's at his campsite, and the colonel, who's played by Andy Griffith, sends his men out to his campsite, and he was like, all right, just show up at his campsite and, kill him. So they go out there.
Well, the reason they want to kill him is because they are basically blaming him for killing Blackie.
Yes.
Who was actually killed by his own men.
Yes.
Because they panicked after being...
And shot Blackie in the back.
Yep.
Which, I love it when they're explaining to the colonel how Blackie died. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, he shot Blackie in the back. And then they're like, yeah, and he got everyone in the bar to say that we did it. He's like, well, then he's a coward and a liar.
But I do like Andy Griffith's character, how effeminate he is.
Yes. All right, and I'm really sorry, guys, but this is a line from the movie.
Uh-oh. I feel like I'm not to pull out the censor button here.
Throw another fag on the fire. It's like, I'm sorry, Colonel. And he's like, a log. Throw another log on the fire. Gee whiz.
Gee whiz. Which I didn't realize that's what he was going for.
Right.
When the movie first began. But, you can tell that he was making certain comments that led towards him being one of those kind of men that is attracted to other men.
Right. But when he
even
says...
like Blackie, because they took him into the colonel's house.
Yeah, after he had died, they brought him back to the colonel's house and
on his
had
new
him
couch.
There. Yeah, and he was like, so this man, you say, shot Blackie in the back, and then you just decided to bring him here and put him on the family sofa. And they're like, well, we didn't know what to do with him. And he was like, you bury him. It's like, that's what you do when someone dies.
Gee whiz. Yeah, bleeding all over his couch and everything. But he's clearly upset about Blackie being shot because he's like,
yeah, he was my best man. And he was like, yeah, I am going to miss Blackie.
He could feel.
He could touch.
Like,
But I do like it when he's telling him, he's like, he was my best man. He's like, I'm going to miss Blackie. Always getting mad and just killing people.
You're going to miss that?
Yeah. But then his daughter comes down and then she's like, oh, Daddy, can I have Wildfire? And he's like, I don't know, honey. Wildfire's a lot of horse. And he's like, yeah, I was just telling the men here what to do with Blackie. You know, now he's dead. And she was like, oh, but Daddy, I've always wanted him to be my very own horse. I just love Wildfire. And then he was like, all right, honey, go ahead. And then she was like, oh, thank you, Daddy. And she was like, wait, Blackie's dead? It's like, yeah, he's right there, dead, on the couch.
Like, totally, she's totally oblivious to this whole time.
So she gets upset, and then she's crying over Blackie, and he's telling her, he's like, you dated? And she was like, oh, dated, Daddy. We did everything together. Everything. And he was like, oh, my God. She's like, he could feel. He could touch. Oh, my God.
Gee whiz.
I do, right before that, he does tell his men, he was like, all right, I need you to take care of this man. And they're like, sir, what do you mean? And he was like, kill him, end his life. That's what I mean when I say take care of someone. But then when his daughter's breaking down and crying over Blackie, he was like, all right, man, take care of her. So they pull out their guns to kill her. And he's like, no, I mean, take her upstairs. Gee whiz.
They're not too bright.
No, they aren't.
But I like when the town drunk, and his name escapes me because this is a new movie for me.
Yeah.
He's walking around outside with Rex, and he's explaining to him like all the stuff that goes on in this town. He's like, I've been in towns exactly like this.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to find out, well, in this other town that you're talking about.
He was like, we got one thing that one town doesn't. He was like, and he's like, a railroad coming through? And he's like, all Western towns have the railroad coming through? And he's like, uh-huh.
Yeah. And then there's the blacksmith.
Yeah. He was like, is he a really nice-hearted guy? He's like, and only gets mad when his shop burns down? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, and I bet the colonel's a mean, stuck-up guy. No, it wasn't the colonel. It was the postman, I think. Or the postmaster general or something like that. But he was naming everything. And then the drunk's name is Peter. And Peter's like, well, all these towns have a town drunk? He's like, no, come to think of it. He's like, you're the first one I've ever met. He's like, oh, come on now. And he's like, no, that's right, partner. You're the only one.
I get a feeling that he only did that to sympathize with him.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think that was kind of a more genuine thing. Like, he was probably the first town drunk.
I don't know.
That he
just
had ever met.
The way that he said it, it made it seem like, you know what? He wants there to be something unique about this specific town. He's like, let me just let him have this one.
Well,
you know?
When in Rome.
Go on.
I do like his theme song. Is the yodelay, yodelay, I ride alone. But then Peter's telling him, he was like, oh, no. He's like, yeah, I could be your sidekick. He was like, no, even my theme song says it. He's like, yodelay, yodelay, I ride alone. Just change it. It's like, what do you mean change it?
What? No.
It took me 4 years to get that right. It did?
I like, well, he's got the campsite with, all of his stuff set up.
It's always just outside of town.
And for the amount of outfits that he changes into, there's no way they all fit into that little cabinet that he's got.
No. But it makes for great TV.
He never, it's like he never wears the same outfit twice.
Never.
It's just weird.
I do like the showdown between him and Bob. And when Peter tells him, like, because Rex is kind of put off by something. I guess you can just tell like something's not sitting right with him, and he doesn't really know exactly what it is. So he sees this guy coming into town. He's kind of watching him a little bit, and when he gets back to his campsite, the girls are there. The general's daughter and Miss Tracy are there with Peter, and they're all hanging out and having a, the root.
Yeah,
which,
it is a reference to drug, and
yes.
it's this root.
It just kind of looks like a sweet potato.
Yeah. But apparently it makes you feel pretty good.
Oh, root's kicking in now. Really feeling it.
When like at the very beginning of the movie, he's playing his song. He's eating the root.
Yeah.
And then it just kicks up a notch.
Yep, it does. It really did. Then, but they're, they all had a root, and he was like, oh, yeah, my roots. Okay, great. And he was like, well, if you'll excuse me, some of us have a gunfight tomorrow. But then when Peter goes and talks to him, he's like, I hope you shoot Mr. Bob right in both hands. And he was like, Mr. Bob? He was like, it's not bad Bob Barker or, killer Bob Barker. And he was like, no, just Bob. So when he meets him, it's a good guy versus a good guy. And that's where, that's the feeling that Rex had, where it's like, oh no, I've met my match.
Starting to question if he really is good.
Yeah. Which I love that Bob Barker is played by Patrick Wayne, John Wayne's son.
And I didn't even know that's who that was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that John Wayne had a kid, to be honest with you.
Like 13 or 14 kids, if I'm not mistaken.
He gets around.
Oh, no, it was with one woman.
Like a record.
Maybe 6. I'm not sure.
Well, they got around. Every room in the house.
Nah. But he was great because when he was like, well, he's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to shoot the guns out of your hands. But they're trying to find out which one is going to be the most good. And
right, because neither one of them were quote-unquote bad.
Right.
And good always beats bad, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. In Westerns, at least.
So he tells him, he was like, no, you can't beat me, Bob. He's like, I'm a good guy. He's like, I'm the most good guy. You work for the colonel? That makes you the most bad good guy. And he's like, no. He's like, well, you've had the company of young ladies out to your campsite, and you're not married. He's like, you're in your 30s. It's like, I think I'm more good than you.
Doesn't he also mention the root?
Yeah. He was like doing drug. He was like, you were obviously doing drugs. And he was like, well, no, it's not like that. It's like, well, they were eating roots. But I do like it when he's telling him, it's like, you have to be a confident heterosexual man. And he was like, wait. And then Rex is confused. He's like, confident heterosexual. He's like, thought it was just heterosexual. And he's like, no, it's confident heterosexual. And he's like, oh, you're sure about that? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. It's like, oh, okay. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just count down from 5 and whoever draws first. So he's like, we'll just draw at the same time. He's like, okay. And he's like, 5, 4. He's like, no, confident. You said, right? He's like, yep, confident. 3. And he's like, I can't fight you today.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow or Thursday.
Like, yeah, Thursday. Thursday's good. Thursday. I don't have anything going on Thursday. Easily one of the funniest parts right after that, though, is because he had fired Peter from being the sidekick. So Peter was back in town as the drunk. And as he's leaving, everybody in the town just comes out of nowhere, calling Rex a coward, that he's a disgrace. People are calling him names, spitting on him. I think one person calls him a queer or something. So Peter gets mad and he's like, hey, you can't talk to my friend like that. So he grabs this guy and pulls him around. He's like, nope. Because he instantly realizes, hey, this guy's a lot bigger than I am. He's like, all right, sorry, man, I thought you were someone else. And then goes and grabs a little girl and he's like, you can't talk to my friend like that. And she
socks him right in the face.
Decks him and he falls through a window.
So I like when Colonel's daughter gets dragged around by wildfire, like all night long.
Yeah.
I don't know how many hours this happened.
It was well, it easily happened the night before, and then it's supposed to be, I think, like the next afternoon. So you have to think at least 16, 17 hours. And here she goes just straight through Rex's campsite.
Yeah, so he was able to help stop the horse.
Right.
Get her cut free after being dragged in the desert for a half a day.
Right.
She's got one little smudge on her face.
I do like it when she was like, where am I? And he was like, oh, I can't remember exactly where he was like Nova Scotia or New Zealand.
She said,
she's like,
yeah, that's right.
He was
that's
like,
right.
you're in a small town just outside of New Zealand. She's like, really? And he was like, no, you're like a mile outside of town. She's like,
oh, are you teasing me?
Yeah, but you're dragged for 18 hours and you're only a mile away.
Yes.
Even at 1 horsepower, you would be a lot farther than that.
But yes, he admits to teasing her, and she's like, I like that.
I do, when he gets off the horse, when he gets back to his campsite, I do this a lot, and I don't think a lot of people ever notice, but when someone throws like a cigarette down, or like if they light something and they've just...
What in the hell is going on outside, man? Gee whiz.
But if someone like throws a cigarette or like drops a match or something, I always go... like something just instantly caught on fire. And I get it from that scene.
Yep. There goes the sheriff.
Well, they found us. We are legally podcasting, everybody.
Podcast out.